So, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope I'm live over here. Yeah, I'm live. So, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope everybody has done the beginners project that we did, weather project. And today I have come up with a new project that will be a cryptocurrency app. Okay, sorry, not cryptocurrency. Actually, it will be a currency exchange app. And what we are going to do here is we are going to see it like it's going to look like this. Like as you can see, this is the currency converter app as we have here, right? Here there is a first option which says USD to any currency, and there is a second option that says any currency to any currency like that, right? See, you can select your currency from this drop down menu over here, and you saw I have written 100 USD to INR. So 100 USD to INR is 82 8,213.70 INR, I guess. Let me just do one thing and I'll just check that what is the price. Okay, so USD to INR. Okay, so it says over here, I don't know what happened to my screen. Yeah, 82.7, right? So you can see that we are getting accurate 82.137. It's like that, right? So yeah, you can see we are getting the accurate data over here. So this is the application that we are going to create, right? Similarly, if you will check that there is this also thing called convert any currency. So it's like 500 INR to USD. I'm trying. So 500 INR to USD is about 6.09 USD, right? You can see it over here. Firstly, I saw Pakistan rupees, so it's like 1725. Then I'm checking USD, so it's about 6.09 USD, right? So you can see it was working extremely fine. Actually, the recording which you saw was my phone's recording. Let me just show you over here. This is the application. If you can see it here, not this one. This is the application over here, and if you can see it, like yeah, see. This is the application. It's already installed in my phone and I was using it, and yeah, it's working extremely fine. And we are going to create the same application over here. So let's begin, right? Actually, emulator was having some sort of error. That was the reason why I did showed you guys the code in emulator, right? And let's open new window of VS Code, and that new window will be having a new folder. So let's do one thing. Let's create a folder over here. So I'll be using Flutter full stack. Inside this, I'm going to create my code. Right. So you remember this is the weather app that we were dealing in the previous video, right? Now I'm going to create Flutter, Flutter create full stack, Flutter create currency converter. Okay. So it's like Flutter create currency converter. See, you can see it is creating our currency converter over here, right? And yeah, the currency converter is done over here. Now what I will do here is I will open that particular folder. So yeah, So, yeah, let's see. We have got the folder over here, right? Firstly, we will be putting on all the important data that we need to make this. So, firstly, I'll be adding a folder called asset, ASSETS, assets. Okay, assets folder has been created. Now, inside this asset folder, we have three images. Okay, actually, I'll be just in that we have two images. This one. So this is the logo that I'm using. I know it's having this Adobe Stock, but yeah, it will work fine. And this is the demo PNG that I was using in the background. Okay, so this was the background that we were using. So yeah, assets has been done, right? Then we have to go to the Android. Inside Android, I'll go to app. Inside the app, I'll go to SRC, and inside the main, I'm going to see there is this Android manifest, right? Now, inside this Android manifest, what I'll be storing here is I'll be storing this code that is user permission android.permission.internet. This is the basic permission that we are giving to the user so that it can access the internet. Okay. So for that, this code is done over here. Then also I'll close it out. Now let's just go to pubspec.yaml. Inside this, now, inside the pubspec.yml, we need to import a few of the things over here, right? Firstly, let me just do one thing. Let me start the emulator over here. So, Pixel 6 Pro. And okay, so this is the emulator ready over here. You can see it. Right? I have just decreased the size of the simulator so that it will be easy to work with. Right? Now, what I have to do here is I have to firstly import one of the few things. That is, firstly, I need over here, right below here, I'll write HTTP. Okay. Now, inside the HTTP, I'm going to import the latest version 0.13.5, which is the latest current version. And you can check it out the version on the particular website. Where is the website? Here. HTTP Flutter, like that you can search it and you will be redirected to the first page. There you can check this. This is the page which has the particular version. You can copy it out and you can just paste it, right? So I hope my voice is audible to everybody. Yeah. So yes, I am audible. Now let's just go back to the VS Code, and over here what I'm going to do here is I'm going to firstly import one more thing that will be storing our um codes. Okay, so let me first quickly remove this asset. Okay, now inside the assets, I'm just going to write that's it, right? Because I will just write assets and slash. This will, take all the files stored in the assets, and I don't really need to, import one by one, all the files. Now after this dev dependency, I'm going to use one more thing called Flutter launcher icons. Okay, Flutter launcher icons, and for that also I have some versions that I will be using. So for that, just go back to the page, this one, and here you can search for Flutter launcher icons like this, and you will be redirected to this website. Just copy paste this into the code, and yeah. So this is the Flutter launcher icons that I'm going to use. So after this launcher icons, we have to write one more code that will be also getting from this website. This is the code over here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this particular set of code, okay, from Flutter icons. That's it. And I'm just going to copy it out. And after here, coming here, I'll just paste it out, right? So it's basically telling that we have to take the icons for which particular like Android, iOS, okay. Then what we need web, Windows, and Mac OS. So for every particular this we have to define the image. So I'll write logo.png for this image path, copy, paste, and copy, paste, and also copy and paste. So now you can see for all the particular operating systems, we have got the logo that will be this particular image which is stored here inside this. This will be the image that will be used in every single of the code, every single logo of every single operating systems. Okay. Now, still now, if you will check, it's not created, right? We need to type on some code that will be helpful, right? So for that, what I firstly I have to run pub get flutter pub get. Then after that, I'm going to write flutter pub run Flutter launcher icons. You can run like this, and then it will load something, and then it will say, see, successfully generated launcher icons, right? Now, if I will run my file, this basic file, like, and if I'll start debugging and till it's run, let me just tell you what I have done here is I have just created a launcher icons for the for this application that we are going to create. And as soon as the app will be loaded, you will be seeing that we have got our currency, like cryptocurrency. Oh, why I'm saying crypto? It's like uh, currency converter. We will be getting that logo over here, that dollar logo that we were getting, right? That we will be getting. So yeah, it is almost about to done. Till then, I'll just show you that we don't really need to write this main dot that I will be changing the code. Okay. Every single line of the code will be changed. And the one which will be left will be different. Okay, so I don't know why it's taking that much long time. You can see this is the logo. Like you can change it as per your need. See, this is the logo that you can see. If I change the image, actually, I was not getting that clear image, so I have just used it. Later on, I will be changing the image. I will be removing this set of lines and codes that you can see it over here, right? And I will be making it more good looking logo later on. As of now, you can see, yeah, that something is there and this is the code which is not useful for us. So let's do one thing now. Let's just start doing the code over here. Okay. So for that, inside the library, we have to create four sections. Okay. Four sections we have to create. First section is main.dart, which is already present over here. Okay. Inside this, then we have to create a folder called components. Then also we have to create one more folder called functions. And then we have to create one more folder called screens. Then models inside this lib. We are going to, I don't know why this is getting loaded automatically. Yeah, inside this, I'm going to create one more called models. Okay, so it will be like MODLS, models. And one more that is utils. That will be having our utilities. Okay, so yeah, this is the components that we were about to create. Now let's just do one thing. Let's go to main.dart and remove all the code. Yeah, gone. Everything's gone because we don't really need that. So I'm just going to write import and package flutter material dot dart. Okay. Now after this, I'm going to write void main and run app. Now inside the run app, I'm going to create a stateless widget. The stateless widget, which will be having my app, that logo, my app one. Okay. Then super key will be like this as well. So let me just change little bit. It looks like const super my app super key equals to like that. Because later on we will be, changing the key. This key will be helpful to tell us where exactly or in which particular app our in which particular file our user is. So yeah, then I'm going to return a material app and will be capital. So material app. Then after inside the material app there will be a title. Now the title will be what? The title will be currency converter. Okay, that is the title. Theme will be, let's define some theme over here. So I'm going to write theme data. Inside the theme data, I'm going to write primary swatch colors dot blue. That is, the basic that we are going to use as of now. Later on, you can change it. Then debug show checked manner board will be false because I don't want that this silly debug should be written over here. So yeah, I have removed that as well. Then inside home, I'm going to write home. Okay. But yeah, now you can see that home is not created. So let's just do one thing. Let's go quickly to the screens. And inside the screens, let's create a home.dart. So home.dart. Right. This will be the home page that we are going to keep it. I hope my voice is coming to everybody, right? Yeah. So now what I'm going to do here is inside the home, we have a lot of code. Okay. So basically, firstly, I need a home. So I'm going to write import package Flutter material.dart. Now here I need a stateful widget. Now inside the stateful widget, I'm going to write it as home. Okay. And this key should be also changed. Right. Now over here, I'll just redirect this page. Okay. So now you can see that we are not getting any errors. And if I'll run the code, you can see we are getting nothing because this has a placeholder here over here. So yeah, let's do one thing. Let's quickly remove that placeholder and let's do some changes. So instead of that placeholder, I'm going to write a scaffold. Then that scaffold will be doing what? Scaffold will be containing an app bar. An app bar will give us the data like heading basically. So background color will be colors dot gray. I'm going to write gray with shade 900. Okay, this will be the see. Now you can see, yeah. So this is the app bar over here, and inside that I'm going to write title. So title will be const text, and inside the text I'm going to write currency converter. So yeah, you can see it's present over here. Then I'll write center title. True. Center title true will means that the title will be in the center over here, right? Now we even need to define a variable h that will be the height. Okay, so media query dot of context dot size dot height, and similarly there will be a w which will be having media query dot of context dot width of the particular page. Like it will take full width and full height. Okay. So now this is done. App bar is done. Now we have to write it down the body. So inside the body, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write inside the body, I'm going to write container. Inside the container, I'm writing H. Containers height will be H and containers width will be W. Okay. So this is basically the container that we have over here, right? Now, what we have to do here is we have to write decoration. So decoration will be having the image over here. So box decoration, inside the box decoration, I'm going to store the image over here. So what I'll write image will be decoration decoration image, and inside the decoration image, we are going to write assets dot image. What happened over here? Okay, so assets slash demo dot png. Okay, so let's reload, and you can see that we have got the backend as well, background color as well over here. Now, inside the container, what I'm going to do is firstly I'll delete a padding because we need that there should be padding between the text that I'm going to write. So padding dot only, and only why I'm writing because I want from top I need a padding of 65, and from left right like it will be 15, not 20. 15 is fine. Okay, yeah, 15. This is the padding. Now inside this, we are going to store a container. So after this decoration and after this box decoration, we are going to write a child. Now inside the child, I'm going to write single child scroll view. Why I'm using single child scroll view is because whenever we will be using that keyboard, right, in this video, you can see we were using this keyboard. At that particular time, it should not overflow or it should not give us any sort of errors. That is the reason why we are using single child scroll view. Okay. So I hope till now, no doubts, everything is understood. Okay, then let's move forward. Yes, so after this single child scroll view, I'm going to write a child, and the child will be of the form. Why I'm using form is because uh, we are going to take context from the user, and we are going to take a lot of things. That is the reason why I'm going to use this. Okay, so after this, over here inside the forms, I'm going to write firstly, I'm going to write a key. So key will be what? Inside the form, I'm going to store key as form key. Okay. So for that, we have to go up and we have to define that variables. So we'll come up here, right below this key. Where is the homestead over here? Right. So I'll write final form key equals to global key form string. Okay. So this is what it's going to store the form key over here. That means it's going to take the data and it will make sure that data doesn't goes anywhere else. Okay. So the form key is set over there, and after that form key, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take one more thing over here. Child. The child will be having some like child will be having future builder. So it's like future builder, and it's going to basically have the models over there that we are going to use. Okay. So future builder, inside the future builder, I'm going to write what it's basically going to have. It's going to have some models. Now inside this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write future and result. So what is the result over here? So result is basically the thing that we are going to get from the key. So for before writing this, let me do what? Let me make sure that uh, let me do what? I'll format it out from here till here. Right. And In this, I'm going to just stay a text that is hello, right? Yeah, right. So it's okay. This is fine now. Yeah. So you can see we are getting this hello text over here. If you can see it's visible or not, I don't know. Like font size 30 now you can see, right? So yeah, you can see the code is working fine, then there is no error. Now what we have to do here is we have to create some models. Okay, what models? We have to take a key API. We are using an API, right? So what API we are using in this code? We are using open exchange rate. The open exchange rate is a website that will be providing us an API so that we can use. See, you can see I am already the code which I showed you in the beginning was having this particular API. So yeah, you can see that we are getting this data over here, right? So what you have to do here is you have to go over here and you have to log in. Okay. Then in that there is multiple, apps and multiple data. And what I will be doing here is I'm just going to check app ID. This is my app ID. I'll copy it out. Okay. And there is one thing called get started. Inside this get started, you will get the documentations of the API endpoints, like latest.json. What it is going to give you, it is going to give you all the latest data. Okay. We have to give here, I have to provide here my app ID, right? So I'll just copy this website and I'll go here, paste, and instead of your app ID, I'll paste, sorry, I have to paste my own app ID that I was having over here, copy and paste. Okay. So if I hit run, you can see I'm getting all the code, like latest rates over here because I have searched latest, right? What this latest will give us, it will give us the rates of all the currencies, I guess. I don't know how much it is, 170, 160. It's like about 170, right? So yeah, it's going to give us all the currencies. And then there was also a feature called convert. So we would have used it, but it was only for unlimited plan feature. That means we have to pay some money to them, that then only we can use it. Right. So what I did here is instead of taking that, I just took mine and then I started using it. So for that, we are going to take this latest currencies. And also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take currency names. Okay, so this one. So this one will provide us with the names of all the currencies like AED, that is United Arab Emirates Dirham, Afghani, then like this. Maybe there was Bitcoin as well, if I remember. Yeah, BTC means Bitcoin. And INR is also there. So I don't know where it is. INR. Yeah, Indian rupee. So yeah, you can see we have all the data over here. So we are just going to use that. So for that, what you guys should have to do to take the advantage of this API, inside these functions, I am going to create a thing called fetch rates. Okay. So it's basically going to fetch the rates of all the API. From the API, it's going to fetch the rates and it's going to use it over here. Okay. So what I'll be doing here is firstly inside this utility, I'm going to create key dot dot. Okay. Now inside this key dot dot, I will be storing my string and I'll be pasting it like that. That font string key and your particular key, API key, whatever you guys will be having. Don't use this one because after making this video, I'll be deleting that API key, so it will be not useful. You guys will get error. So instead of that, choose your own and use it. Okay. Now, after this API key, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to app fetch data. Inside that, what I'm going to write, I'm going to firstly write import package HTTP. Okay, so inside the HTTP, I'm going to just take HTTP dot dart as HTTP. Okay, so this will be very useful for us, so because we are going to use that one. So it's like then I'm going to write future. Inside future, I'm going to write the rates model. So rates model, and inside the rates model, R will be capital actually. I'm going to do what? I'm going to write it's like fetch rates. Okay, it's going to fetch rates. Then after that, I'm going to write async so that it should, wait until that data is not getting. Okay, so it's like response, final response equals to wait. We have to wait till we doesn't get the data. HTTP dot get. Now inside this get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass URI. So URI dot parse. If we really need to, call out the data, we have to write parse over here. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that particular link that we were having over there and we are going to paste it. Right now, I have written my own API just like that. Or else you can do it is you can write it like this as well. So close it. Then after that, just add a plus and API key that can be imported from that. So, okay, so there is the API key, right? String key. So you can just write it like this, and you can write it, then it will work exactly same. But I just to test right now, I'm going to write my API key with it so that we won't get any error. And if we get, we don't have to change the codes every single time, right? So yeah, I'll put this, and after this, I'm going to write print, I'm going to write response dot body, and after this, I'm going to write final result. So whatever will be the result will be stored in this. So rates model from JSON, because we are going to get the data in the form of JSON, right? So we need that the JSON, format should be changed. Okay. So now what is the raised model from JSON? We have not defined it. So for that, let's go do one thing. Let's go to models, and inside this models, I'm going to write raised model, raised model dot out. Okay. So inside this, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define the rates model. Okay, so that we can get the rates over here. So I'll write import dot and convert, because we are going to convert that data that we are getting in the form of JSON into rates model. Okay, and I'm going to write that same thing that I wrote here, that is rates model from JSON. Okay, so that we can import it over there. And inside that, I'm going to write string str. So what it's happening is it's going to take the data that we will be passing it through, and then it's going to decode. Okay, so it's like rates model dot from JSON, and we are going to write rates model dot from JSON and decode. Okay, now what is this rates model? We have not defined that one as well. So for that, let's hit enter, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define that. So I'm going to write class rates model. So inside the class rates model, we will be storing few things, that is rates model, and that rates model will be having this set of data, that is this dot disclaimer, this dot license, this dot timestamp, this dot base, and this dot rates. Okay, that is also the thing that we are going to store it over here. Right now, inside of this, I even have to write required because we can't let this be empty. So copy, paste, paste, and paste. Okay, so we have written this. Now we have to define more of that, like what exactly is this and how the data will be transformed. So I'll write string. Inside that, I'm going to write a range model to JSON, and then what I'm going to write data to JSON format. String rate model to JSON will be having the data, and that data will be encoded to data dot to JSON like that. This is Flutter, you can say. Um, yeah, so yeah, this is basically the Flutter's way to take out the data from the model that you have created. Okay. Now after this, what I'm going to write here is I'm going to firstly define string disclaimer. Okay, so S will be capital, S will be capital, string disclaimer, string license, and string int, yeah, timestamp. And there will be one thing called string base. What is the base? And there will be a map of rates. Why map? Because there are a lot of currencies, like a lot, hundreds, more than 100 currencies will be there. So that's the reason why you are using map over here, and that will be having the maps data. So factory rates model dot from JSON, and from JSON we are going to take it like this, like from JSON maps, we are going to store that map in the form of map. Then rates model will be having disclaimer, and that disclaimer will be fetched from JSON.disclaimer license, then timestamp, and then base. Now rates will be stored in the form of map entry. Okay, now that map has to be also defined over here. So for that, what I'm going to use is I'm going to write map, and that map will be having string, right? So string, comma, it will be dynamic, and we are going to write to JSON, and then what I'm going to write here is I'm going to write the same set of code that I written above over here. The same set of codes will be written, and it will be ended up like this. Okay. So now what it's saying that the fetch results can't return that. So I'm going to write return results, and it should be fine to go, right? What it's saying returns code, and now if I just hit run, I think so. It's going to fine. Terminal debug console. Right, as of now, it's not showing any sort of error. Let me just go through it once more. Yeah, it's working. Yeah. Now, if you will remember that we have, as of now, we are not calling this fetch results anywhere. So that's the reason why the code is not getting implemented. But let me do what? Let me just call it out, okay, over here in the form. So instead of this text, I'll just quickly, yeah. So I'll just quickly write the like single child scroll view, and it will be having a form, and that form will be storing the result that we are fetching from where we are fetching it from the rates model. Okay, so rates model that we have created, from that we are fetching the data, so it should give us the particular output that we need. Okay, so as of now it's okay. Then I'll write builder. Inside the builder, it's going to take context snapshot, and inside this particular bracket, I'm going to write that if we are still fetching the data, right? So if we are fetching the data, so snapshot dot connection state equals to connection state dot waiting. Because if the connection state is in the waiting stage, it should it should basically throw what? It should basically return a circular process indicator that we are processing the data, right? But if the data has been fetched and we can return the data, then what I'm going to write here is I'm going to return a column which will be having this data over there. Okay, so inside the column, let's do one thing instead of column, I'll write it as center. Now inside this, I'm going to write child and it will be having that future builder, and the builder will be having the map. Okay. Now, if you'll see that we have to firstly define that what is the rates over here and what we are going to get. So for that, let's quickly just come up here, and before this, I'm going to write late and future rates model will be having a result, and future late future. There is one more thing that we need, right, in the code. That is what? A map. So for map, we need to call out all currencies, right? We have not created that particular thing, but yeah, we are going to create it soon. As of now, I'll just do what, I'll leave it like that. Now, after this, we are going to write void set state. Inside this set state, what I'm going to write fetch results. So that fetch result will be called from that fetch result rate that we were getting. Okay. Inside this column, I'll write what I'll do. I'll write a text as of now. Okay. So let's do one thing, snapshot our data rates to string. That's the what we are going to do as of now. So let me just restart the code so that, yeah, you can see that it's throwing us an error. What error it's throwing us? It's saying that we are unable to take that data. So let me do what, I'll start it in my phone so that it will be easy to see. Actually, I don't know why the emulator was throwing this error. It should technically not do, but that was the reason why I showed you, the video in my mobile instead of showing it there. So I'll just do what? I'll just connect my phone with my laptop and then I will show you guys. Just a second. Yeah. So now I'm going to connect my phone with my laptop and I'll just restart the code to see that whether now it's going to work or not. You can see my phone has been connected, right? And here, this is my phone. And let's do what? Let's close the server and I'll run it again, start debugging. Okay. So my phone is connected to my computer and it's going to show us the code. And if everything is fine, it's going to work perfectly. At least it's going to give us the data perfectly, right? So yeah, it's taking some time over there. You can see it's saying installing the build output folder. Yeah, you can see that app is working in my phone, right? As of now, but you cannot see the data. Just let me do what? I'll go to home page And inside the home page, I'll write one more thing: style, font size, and also the color. Okay. And and I'll just do what? I'll show you guys the code. You can see that I'm getting the code. Yeah. I'm getting all the code in the form of JSON format. Like all the cryptocurrencies data, I'm getting over in my phone. And if I'll click on restart over here, if you will check it out, see, it's going to show the circular logo. And when the data is fetched out, it's going to return the data, right? I hope you can see my screen. I'll do it once more. I'm going to restart the server. You can see I've clicked restart and it's showing the circular logo, and then the data has been fetched out. So you can see there is a lot of currency data. Only the data of currencies are getting, right? So you can see that our code is working fine without any sort of errors, right? And I hope you understood each and everything that we have done so far. I will try to resolve that why that it was the code was not working on the emulator, but it is working extremely fine in my phone, right? You can see it's fetching the data and it's representing the data over here, right? So I hope you understood each and everything. If you have any sort of doubts and queries, then do comment out, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss an upcoming video that I will be posting regarding this currency app and future upcoming videos as well, right? So this was pretty much it for this video, and I will see you in another one. Till then, see ya.